So with the holiday season upon us, I thought I'd make a special video of some of my favorite purchases and equipment over this past season. So the good news is we're going to keep the majority of these options very affordable, or what I like to call stocking stuffers. And if you're looking for something a little nicer, we'll throw a couple of those in too. So let's kick this off with the Bora Speed Horse Sawhorse. It's probably my favorite tool purchase of 2023. So as you can see, these fold up nice and compact. You press one button on the side, the legs fold right out. They're rated for 1,500 pounds, and they have a very special feature. First of all, you can attach a 2x4 to the top like you see right here, so you can cut through it. You can take this 2x4 off and change it out. It's basically just a sacrificial piece, so you don't cut into your sawhorse itself. But these have another awesome feature. Let me show you. So you can take a couple of 2x4s, stick right down into these slots on the side, and build yourself a table. So now you get a massive workbench. You can put 4x8 sheets of plywood or whatever else up here, and you can cut from any direction now, and the stuff doesn't pile up and hit the ground. And this can all break down really quick and easy as well. So it's a nice, quick, very strong work table. Bora was also smart enough to know that if you attach a 2x4 to the top of the sawhorse, the way they made these slots and grooves on the side, when you drop a 2x4 in, it's a nice and smooth transition right here, so you can rotate your pieces around. When you're done working for the day, you can take these pieces right out. And these sawhorses have a little tab on each end that you lift up. It unlocks the legs. And then these are ready to put back in your vehicle or store in your shop, nice and out of the way. By the way, I'll be putting links down in the description to all of these items, and I'm going to go ahead and let you know, full disclosure, some are affiliate links, like say for Amazon, for example, where I earn a small commission, but it does not cost you a dime extra. Some of the links I'm going to provide, I earn absolutely nothing, no affiliation, but I just think they're really awesome things and would be good holiday gift buying ideas. Now that we have this little table built here with those sawhorses, highly recommend those for anybody in your life. Let's talk about some small, like stocking stuffer type ideas or small gifts. One of my favorite purchases of all times is this Bosch laser tape measure. So this laser tape measure right here measures from the back side of the device. It shoots a laser out the front, and whatever it makes contact with, it gives you a measurement. Let me stick my hand right here in front, and you can see the measurement changing as I get closer. Measures up to 65 feet. You can press and hold this button. It'll lock in up to 2 measurements. You carry that back to your workbench, and you can cut. This is an amazing piece of equipment when you're working by yourself. So we all know how aggravating it is when working by yourself trying to hold a tape measure out. They want to break, they fall. It just does not work out well. So this device right here, you can measure up to the ceiling, from wall to wall in a room, to the end of a piece of a board, as long as you have something to catch the laser beam on the other end. This was an absolute lifesaver for me whenever I built our house. So next, another tool that I'm always bragging on, I discovered this whenever I was building our house as well, is a DeWalt oscillating tool. But an oscillating tool in general has become one of my favorite tools. So it's one of those tools that you don't really need often, but when you do need it, there's nothing else that really fits the bill of what this can do. So if you're not familiar with an oscillating tool, it has a blade on the end that will oscillate back and forth. You can cut metal, plastics, wood, all kinds of stuff. Plus on this DeWalt one right here, you can just pinch this lever and you can cut different angles, get inside of cabinets, tight spaces. There is no other type of saw that compares for something like this. You'll find all kinds of uses for it. Now you can buy this particular oscillating tool as the tool only if you already have the DeWalt 20-volt batteries, or you can purchase this with a battery kit. And speaking of battery kits, let me tell you about an awesome sale that I have no affiliation with going on right now for DeWalt batteries, where you can get free tools. So I'll put a link down in the description to Home Depot's website. Again, no affiliation, but I buy this deal every single year. I've actually bought it twice this year for good reason. So they do a battery combo kit. You get a 6 amp hour battery. This is an amazing battery right here, and a 4 amp hour battery, plus one of their chargers and a carrying case. Now this runs about $199. This battery alone is almost worth that. I'll tell you why in a second. But the cool thing is they allow you to pick a free DeWalt tool to go with it, whether it's a circular saw, oscillating tool, impact wrench, whatever it is that you may want. You can get really nice XR rated, that's their good quality brushless tools, to go along with this kit right here. And most of those tools run about what this battery kit does or more. So you're essentially getting one or the other for absolutely free compared to normal everyday prices. Now the reason I recommend this kit over other battery kits that they offer with free tools is because of this 6 amp hour battery right here. It has completely different cells in it than your typical 5, 4 amp hour and smaller batteries. This is extremely powerful. I notice a huge difference in the power of my tools when running it, and it lasts a long time, especially compared to, say, a bunch of 5 amp hour batteries that I have. Even though it's only 1 amp hour more because it has higher quality cells in it, I see a huge improvement across the board. All right, let's jump back down to something a little more affordable and a stocking stuffer, so to speak. I always get asked about my earbuds. This is a common comment on the channel because I wear earbuds all day long. So these small earbuds right here are my Tozo T12s. I've been buying Tozo for years off of Amazon, and I can say they really work, but most importantly, they're extremely affordable. So these little earbuds come with multiple earpieces, a little carrying case that has a built-in battery so you can charge these on the go. I usually get about 5 to 6 hours out of them. They're small, they're lightweight, they work excellent for doing Bluetooth hands-free calling, and of course I use them all day long for things like podcast and music. So you can just pop these in this little carrying case, and once it's charged up, it will recharge these for you. Now here's the great part about these. Typically they're in the $20 to $30 range, and I get years out of them before I see a decrease in battery life. And I always catch these on pretty killer sales on Black Friday. So I'll usually buy 2 to 3 pair, run them for a few years. If I see a reduction in battery life, well, I've more than got my money's worth out of them, and then I move on to a different set. It is hard to justify these big name brand several $100 earbuds nowadays when a $20 to $30 set works exceptionally well. And if you're gonna listen to earbuds all day long like I do, that's why I recommend getting a couple of pair, because I'll go in at lunch, swap out to my new pair, and then I can usually work till late into the afternoon before I get my low battery warning. So another popular item that a lot of y'all see that I use on the channel often is my Log Ox 3-in-1 forestry tool. So if you or your significant other do a lot of firewood or woodworking, cutting out in the woods, this is an excellent tool to have right here. So you can buy it broken down into individual pieces or the full kit like I have here that comes with this carrying case. So long story short, it comes in these individual pieces. One of my favorite pieces is the log pickup tool here. I'll cut to a clip real quick where I recently just used this to pick up some pieces to put on my log splitter. This also works great for picking up wood, putting in the backside of a Ranger, a truck, things such as that. This also comes with a robust handle and what's called a pickaroon head that you can put in up top, pop a pin through, and this hook right here allows you to slam it into a piece of wood and pick it up. It's just another lifting tool to help save your back. So you can put all these pieces together to build 2 other tools, a log lift or what's called a cant hook, where you can actually roll logs over or lift them up so you're not cutting down into the dirt with your chainsaw. So the pole snaps right on to this piece. Here's your foot section that's optional. You could use this piece just to hook on and roll the logs right there. I do use it for that occasionally. Now you got that snapped on, this foot now makes a log lift. Cut to another clip right here, and you can see that I use that to make cuts and not get my chainsaw chain down in the dirt. This is an American company right here, very well built, heavy duty. I've had mine for a couple of years now, no issues. Highly recommend this. So since we're on the subject of firewood, another awesome invention that doesn't cost a lot is called the Mingo marker. I picked mine up off of Amazon. If you're particular like me and want your firewood perfectly measured out, and I want it this way because of the way I stack it in containers, well, it's relatively difficult to know piece after piece after piece how to cut them. You can eyeball it, but some will wind up short, some wind up long. It's just the way it works. So if you have somebody that's very particular about their firewood and wants it certain lengths to fit in the stove or whatever it may be, a firewood measuring tool is an awesome piece of equipment to have. So the Mingo marker takes ground inverted paint. That's the one with the special nozzle that's designed to spray upside down. You get this at any hardware store in all different colors. It drops down into this, and you can purchase different size wheels right here. From 14, 16, 18 up to 24 inches, this will drop a dot on the piece of wood. So you just rotate this along, it activates the paint can. This one's every 16 inches for the wheel that I have right here. And now you know right where to go back and make a cut with your chainsaw. I use this tool a lot. It makes sure I get nice and perfectly straight pieces of firewood, especially being that we're going to be selling a lot of firewood here and people are going to come to expect a certain size or length for whatever they're using back at home. All right, so let's jump back up in value if you're looking for a really nice gift for somebody. EcoFlow, we've worked with them a lot on the channel. I run a lot of their portable power stations right here. Think of this as a, well, battery generator, so to speak. Lithium batteries inside, inverters can run off and charge off of solar power. They can charge off of the grid, and they can power up 120 volt appliances. We even have the larger units that run our house that can go up to 240 volts. We can run our central AC, all freezers, refrigerators, well pump, anything that we want in the house. But this company offers from smaller models that are very affordable, that'll say run a CPAP all night long. One of their more smaller portable power stations is our most heavily used one. We use it weekly inside of a vehicle. You can use it to say run a little crock pot, or in this case a 12 volt lunchbox to warm up food while on the go, because a lot of vehicles nowadays, when you cut the key off, the 12 volt dies. So we can use this for 12 volt power or 110 volt power. It's also a good time to mention, EcoFlow typically does some pretty significant Black Friday sales. Their big units, for example, I just showed you a clip of. Well, those are on the biggest sale I have ever seen, highly discounted right now. I'll put a link down in the description. Also, I'll put a discount code down there to get you an additional 5% off. But go shop around, from small devices, again, to run a CPAP, charge phones, run fans, to mid-sized devices like this that can run freezers, refrigerators, along with all that other stuff, to whole house devices. They have it all, and they're all on a really good sale right now. Another very affordable shop gift, and something I just can never seem to have enough of, you always need more than one of these, is quick clamps. So they're hand pinched quick clamps. You would be amazed at what all these will hold for you, not even in a shop environment, but working around the house. I work alone a lot, and a lot of times I need to clamp things down, whether it be a mower blade that I'm clamping to a sawhorse to sharpen, clamping wood together, holding something up. Clamps are one of the most handy things you could possibly have around, and probably the most popular brand out is the Irwin Quick Grips right here. Now, this is an older model I've had forever. They got some newer models. I'll put links down in the description. This is an excellent little small gift or stocking stuffer right here. Plus, they have some kits with all different various sizes in there. I cannot brag enough on Quick Grip clamps, especially when working alone. They do so much stuff more than just pinching something together. So next, let's talk about probably one of the more thoughtful gifts that you can give somebody. And this is one of those devices that whenever you get, you kind of don't think about it until you need it. And then when you need it, you realize how valuable it is, and it becomes one of the more important things that you can have. These typically always go on sale on Black Friday as well. So this is from a company called Gulu. It's the GP400 Jump Starter. Think of this is essentially a very powerful lithium battery in here, and this is a jump starting device for your vehicle, boat, whatever you need it for. Got a built-in battery, some USB ports on the side so you can charge phones. It even has a cigarette lighter adapter right here that you can plug in and run cigarette lighter type devices that need 12 plus volts. And most importantly, it's a jump starter that can really get you out of a bind. And I have used this to jump start numerous things over the couple years that I've owned mine. So as you can see, this has clamps that go straight to the battery. And when I say it'll jump off anything I've tested, I mean absolutely anything. I have a friend that has a very similar one. He can jump off his diesel truck. I've jumped off tractors, full-size V8 trucks, cars, four-wheelers, lawn mowers, boats. I've had all kinds of battery problems over the last couple of years. We all do. Whether you're up in a cold environment or you just have an old aging battery, this is such an awesome thing to have. I throw it behind my truck seat, and you forget about it until the day that you go out into the parking lot and you go to crank up and uh-oh, the battery won't start. You put this right on, it started everything I've ever asked it to. Now you can get safely to the store to change that battery out, or you can get yourself home. I love devices like this, and they do not cost a lot for what all that they'll do. Also, one of my favorite pieces of equipment, if you have somebody in your life that does a lot of hunting, fishing, puts up vegetables, or if you buy groceries in bulk and you're looking to vacuum seal them, we finally got away from those little tabletop vacuum sealers that suck air out of a bag, and we went to a vacuum chamber sealer right here. Now, typically vacuum chamber sealers are quite expensive, but from this particular company, Vevor, this one right here has worked flawlessly for me for a long time and is a fraction of the cost of the big name brand ones. The really cool thing about a vacuum chamber is it pulls air out of the chamber, not necessarily out of the bag itself. So what that means is it doesn't pull all the bloods, the juices, everything else into the equipment like the little tabletop versions do. That also means you can put steaks or chicken or whatever in a bag, pour marinade in, you can put chilies and soups in a bag, put it in here, and you can vacuum seal it because it doesn't pull it out of the bag. This right here is already paid for itself for us. When you look at all the groceries that you can buy in bulk, and we've shown that a lot here on the channel, we'll go out and buy huge boxes of chicken for pennies on the dollar, pork chops, we catch everything on sale, we'll come in here and vacuum seal all that stuff, we'll put it in a big refrigerator or freezer, and we save tons of money. unreal amount of savings. So if you have a sportsman or sportswoman in your life, or somebody that gardens a lot, puts up a lot of food, highly recommend getting away from the cheap vacuum sealers and go to a chamber sealer. So I recently just picked up this Husqvarna 320 IL battery powered weed eater right here. And I'll go ahead and tell you, I've always been a huge fan of gas engines, and I still am for most of my power equipment. But these weed eaters have come a long ways along with battery technology. I just caught this on an amazing Amazon Prime Day sale, and wouldn't surprise me if something like this goes back on sale for, well, Black Friday. This is a very powerful professional filling battery powered trimmer. So if you're needing that, or have someone in your life that does a lot of weed eating or trimming around the house, but doesn't want to fool around with oil and gas, or have equipment sit up all winter and maybe it starts next spring, maybe it doesn't, hard to beat battery power. This particular package comes with a 40-volt battery and charger. This has a 16-inch cutting head that can reverse directions. That's a really nice feature. So if you're weeding around the house and you have something in one direction you don't want to throw grass, sticks, or rocks to, you can press a button on here and cut back the opposite direction. This also has a turbo mode and has cut the thickest grass that I could possibly find to put this through here around the property. Runtime's quite decent as well for a single battery, especially for the power this has. So unless you have a huge piece of property, I can get up to about 30 minutes of weed trimming, which is about 2 to 3 times of weed trimming around the house for me before I ever need to stick this on the charger. It's also worth mentioning this feels very well built, but the balance is there. I looked at a lot of other battery powered string trimmers before I bought this one, and the balance was horrible on them. This had the best balance by far. That really helps out so you don't wind up with an achy back or shoulder like I do with a lot of other string trimmers. Last but not least, if you have someone in your life that loves weather like I do and is always curious about how much rainfall you got, the humidity, how fast the wind was going, and historical records, I highly recommend a weather station. This here particular model is from Ambient Weather. They have some of the best reviews that I have seen. Quality pieces of equipment. This one measures all kinds of stuff, puts historical records online for you to look at. You can even make it public where you can check your weather station, other people's weather stations on the internet, and they can check yours. It also comes with a display that's inside on your desk. These communicate up to about 150 feet away wirelessly, and you can go on with an app and check all this on your phone, whether you're home or not, because this also connects to the internet. All right, well, hopefully you enjoyed that, and hopefully I gave you some ideas. We all know how hard it is to shop for others sometimes, especially for the people that seem to have everything. Chances are I've shown you something that somebody does not have. This is without a doubt some of my favorite purchases over the last 1 to 2 years, and stuff that I use often and I absolutely recommend. So whether we go from, say, $20 up to a few $1,000s of items here, but I've shown a lot of stuff in the more affordable range this year, which makes sense for most people. And let's wrap this up with me saying exactly what I've said before. At the end of the days, let's all not forget the true reasons for the seasons, whether it's religious reasons that you're celebrating it, or it's all about family, whatever that may be. Those things are far more important than these material things. Don't put yourself in debt or stressed out over purchasing things to support corporate America, whereas at the end of the day, that's not truly what's important. Now, if you find yourself in a position where you really want to bless others with things and take care of people, I totally get it. It is awesome to give things and to see that excitement and reaction. Totally understand it. By all means then, go after whatever it is that you think that other person may love, cherish, and appreciate. Don't forget, links are down in the descriptions for all these items. None of this stuff is brand new to me other than 1 or 2 things, but it's all been tested. It works. I highly recommend them, and it's stuff that I will continue to use from here on out. Y'all have a happy and blessed holidays. We'll catch you on the next video.